Would you date me? Would you date me? Okay. Now, would you still date me if you knew that I've been married 3 times? I have 5 children, 2 grandchildren. And every time I was married, I had kids with that person. So 3 different dads to my kids. I bet your answer changed. I bet your answer changed. We live in such a society that's so judgmental about people's stories. And it's crazy because we all know that divorce is so prevalent in modern day society. But what you don't understand when you're passing somebody by because you're reading a profile or you find out things about them, that you're not getting to know that person.
That's your wife and my kids.
Would men date you? Well, my granddaughter post-walk Colleen, it really depends on several factors. The first factor would be how you look like when you drop the damn filter. The second factor would be their definition of dating. See, you believe that dating leads to marriage. Modern day men will look at you and say, no, dating leads to like smashing and dashing. Don't get me wrong, you may look good for a granny, but you're still a granny. I mean, you said you were married 3 times. Let me correct that for you. You've been divorced 3 times. You got 5 kids from 3 different baby daddies, to include a couple of grandpuppies. No, society isn't being judgmental towards you. On the other hand, men are being very cautious around you because they know what you want. You've already shown it 3 times. You just want to update your retirement plan. It's only going to happen with your deepest blue pill simp out there. A guy who doesn't mind biting into sloppy fourths. I mean, when men read your profiles and they find out everything you've done, granny, they know exactly what it's all about. You're a black belt at weaponizing divorce against men. That's what modern day society is all about, at least in the West. I mean, in reality, any men who hit you up just want to throw their hot dog down that hallway. You shouldn't be upset that you can still pull some Chad/Tyrones into your bedroom. Enjoy it. That's the only reload you're going to get because you're not going to get your alimony reloaded at this age.
You're not getting to know their story. You automatically think that's a red flag, that's toxic, which isn't always the case. Sometimes, if you just take the time to get to know people, you might find a diamond in the rough. Get to know people before you judge them. There was once upon a time I would have never put this on TikTok out of fear of judgment. And I can imagine the comment section. But I've reached a point in my life where I no longer care what anybody thinks of me. So to all my fans watching, hi. But to all my real fans, to all my real friends, as always, I love you guys so, so, so much. Bye.
Oh, hell no.
Granny, you said that you have to really get to know their story. I think your story is pretty freaking clear. And you said that you may find a diamond in the rough. Tell us something. Your 3 ex-husbands, did they think that they found a diamond in the rough as well? Okay, let me come at this from a different angle. Let's say you're going to buy a car. The car has about 200,000 miles on it and it's been in 3 different car crashes. Would you want to pay top dollar for that? Is that society shaming the car? No, that's the smart buyer saying, I'm not going to spend my money here. But the flashy classic collectors will take that car for a ride every now and then, if you know what I mean. Listen, there is nothing to your story that needs to be found out. What are you going to say, that you were emotionally abused by 3 different men? Common denominator will be what? The granddaughter of post-walk Queen who's making this video. And let's say all 3 men were abusive. Again, common denominator, you don't know how to choose a good man. If that's the case, what more to the story does anyone need to find other than you're a terrible decision maker? I'm going to assume that you put in for a divorce every single time. Listen, Granny, let me just be honest with you. At this point in your life, you're going to have to date a guy who's in his 70s who doesn't mind being with you. When it comes down to it, somebody who has more wrinkles than you is not going to mind your wrinkles. Before we move on, I want to bring attention that 70% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. Come on, fam. You've seen my logo on other channels, and you're already here. Please hit that subscribe button and support the channel. It really helps out. Moving on.
I know it can be hard being single in your 40s and getting back out there, but listen, you cannot do the same things that you did when you were 20-something. So here are 4 ways that dating is different in your 40s and above. Number one, you're probably looking for more emotional maturity and compatibility than attraction and other superficial factors. And that's okay. But on the flip side, you may also be looking for passion, fun, and playfulness because, hey, maybe you came out of a really difficult relationship and now you want something light and easy. Number two, people over 40 tend to have less non-negotiables. And that's because they realize that they're not at the top of their game anymore. As you get older, you just don't have as many options. They're more accommodating and realistic. But hey, realizing that perfection is not attainable is a good thing. And instead of looking for perfection, then you're going to be seeking shared life values and goals. Number three, you're probably more independent and have a greater appreciation for personal space than you did when you were younger. In other words, you're more set in your ways. And let's be real, just acknowledging this is good self-awareness and understanding that that's just how the lifespan works. Once you're at this stage of life, you're going to be a little bit more fixed. And so you're going to be looking for someone who can respect what you already have going on, who can share your interests and hobbies, and someone who's going to allow you to continue to express yourself in the way that has been making you happy all this time. You understand that both of you have your own lives, your own hobbies, and your own friends.
All right, there. Let's go through her list. I mean, the three that we've heard so far. Yeah, dating in your 40s is tougher for women than it is for men. Let me just be honest. Men, it gets easier as the years go by, especially when they accrue more resources and have more freedom. All right, so the first one is women are looking for emotional maturity and compatibility. Let me translate that from womanese. She is tired of being with the Chads and Tyrones who are only having fun, and now that she is a decade plus post-wall, she wants a good man to come in and save her. I.e., Captain Save-A 304. This is nothing new to men. And there are plenty of blue pill men out there who are gonna pick up a woman in her 40s thinking, yeah, she's special. I got the diamond in the rough. Her previous marriage didn't work out, but she is my soulmate. Yeah, we've heard plenty of those guys pre-family court. The last one, less non-negotiables. Of course, older women have these, while at the same time offering far less. Listen, ladies, if you're in your 40s and you're a single mom, you have far less to offer a man. So you can say, I'm not going to put up with X, Y, Z, but guess what? You don't even offer A, B, and C. If anything, you're offering the new guy in your life to play the previous guy's saved game. Yeah, that's going to work out awesome. Number three, more independent. Come on there, queen. Single moms in their 40s are more independent. If single moms in their 40s were more independent, they wouldn't be dating to find the next stepdad. Being more independent is code for a single mom saying, I need help. But let's hear what else she has to say.
This usually leads to relationships where both people have a level of autonomy that is usually uncommon when you're younger. Yes, you want to have that together time, but you respect that personal space a little bit more when you're over 40. Oftentimes, there are couples that call themselves living apart together. They're really against merging together and cohabiting. They really want to have their own separate lives and then have more fun together in a more independent way. And the last one, number 4, is that you're usually clearer on what you want, what you need, and what you can tolerate. So you really cut to the chase a lot quicker because you are not willing to settle on what is already working for you, what you've achieved in your life. You're just looking for someone who can join you where you're at. So these are the common differences in dating in your 40s versus dating in your 20s. And they're not all necessarily good. And sometimes people are actually deterred when thinking about dating someone in their 40s because of these things. So keep in mind what you need and what you want, what you're looking for, and making sure that you're communicating that to whoever you're vetting in the dating process.
Erroneous! Erroneous! Erroneous on both counts.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, I'll allow this gorilla to make some corrections to what this lady just said. I mean, I understand that she's trying to come at it from a gender-neutral standpoint, but there's no gender-neutral in here. First of all, when it comes to demanding time, 40-year-old women demand more time from men as if men didn't have careers to follow. I'm sorry, but that is a thing where they demand texting, calling, and being there. This thing about 40-year-old women want more independence and living on their own than cohabitating, I call cap. You don't have to take this gorilla's word for it. You can just ask a multitude of men in their 40s and 50s that have been out there dating women in their 40s, and they'll tell you that these women come out and say, I need a man to be a man. I need you to step up and be a man and take charge, take care of this household. Yeah, right. There is no independence. I want to live by my own and just date, unless, of course, she's riding the carousel, which eventually she'll get tired of and then want to cohabitate. Her fourth bullet of you're usually clear on what you want. Let me translate that for womanese. Women have demands. They want the newest simp to provide them the world while they have nothing to offer. Let me ask you ladies, have you ever seriously sat down and made a list of the things that you want from your man while at the same time making another list of the things that you offer a man? I will bet $1 that not one of you have done that. Why? Because you're used to having all this attention. When you were young and attractive, men gave you all this attention. So you didn't have to really give anything out because you were like, yeah, I'm me. You were young, beautiful, and fertile. And that was enough for a lot of men out there. But guess what? That's in the past. Present day you in your 40s is not you at 18 to 23. You don't have as many bargaining chips as you think you had. You have an egg carton that's floating at E. You got more wrinkles, and you have more baggage than LAX. Have you actually sat down and thought, hey, a guy who was with me is going to get all these things? No, because you always think about a guy who's with you is got to do XYZ for you. Just remember my 40-year-old plus Coweens, when you're dating a guy and you tell him that you're leaving, he won't see you again, he's probably just going to reply with, don't threaten me with a good time. Moving on.
Y'all not going to believe this, but I have found another reason to stand my ground on this issue of meeting men very soon after chatting with them in the dating app. I know that y'all, a bunch of y'all always telling me, oh, I talked to him for months before I meet him in person. I'm not your text buddy. I'm not going to be his emotional blankie, his emotional text friend for months on end. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. And because I'm going to get to know someone and then I'm going to meet them in person and I'm going to find out they are nothing like that person I've been texting with because I've been building that in my brain, right? You know, I've been building this person in my brain, each text, each bit of communication. I think I'm picturing, I'm imagining, I'm building this person as a person that I think they are. And then when I meet them in person, finally, months later, I find out that ain't nowhere near what's really going on. So, one more reason. Their smile. Their teeth. I've been chatting with this guy for a little bit, and every photo, he's smiling like that. He never shows his teeth, right? Which, fine, some people don't smile with their teeth. I got you. I understand. But what has happened is this. I met him. He had one tooth. Now, I don't know. I mean, maybe he had a medical condition that caused that. Maybe a lifestyle issue caused that. Maybe age. Hell, I don't know. The truth is, I don't care at this point. What I do care about is, y'all gonna call me a snob, but I don't care. I don't care. You think it's so great, you go run off with him, okay? I don't care, because this is what I think. I think the man that I'm going to eventually get involved with is going to be able to afford dentures or going to be able to afford dental care. It just is. It just is. I'm sorry. I don't care if you think I'm a snob. You run around with those snagglepuss if you want to. I'm not gonna.
Well, this girl, Annie, is putting up her standards. She said that she's not the guy's chat buddy. That's why she wants to meet the guy quickly after starting texting. I will 100% agree with that. Want to know why? Because all her gripes, all her complaints, they go both ways. Whatever she says about not noticing over a chat can be said for her. Remember, Queen, don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. It's not going to end well for you. Now, what I find amazing is that this Grand Elder Post-War Queen is complaining about dental issues a man her age is having. I guarantee you that this woman has her own share of medical issues, but she's gonna demand a guy who could afford his own dental care. Does that mean that you want him to afford your medical care as well? I mean, listen, Granny, all I gotta say is, you eventually are gonna want the guy that you're gonna end up with, which, yeah, I'm pretty sure Prince Charming is out there waiting to pick up a grandma. Anyway, this guy that you're dreaming about is gonna have dental care, and he's gonna be picture perfect for you. How about you? What exactly are you offering him? I mean, you said right there, you're not sorry for dumping that guy because you girls go handle snagglepuss. Well, that's kind of odd coming from dry puss now, isn't it? All I really have to say to you, Granny, is you have your huge chunk of issues, all right? The guy that you keep dreaming about that you said that you're eventually going to be with, you want to know why you haven't found him? Because he's looking for younger women. He's not interested in being with you awaiting your great-grandkids. Let me come at this from a different angle, okay? Let's say, for example, you do find the guy that you like. Around your age, pretty handsome, very well off, has got his finances in order, got full teeth, all his equipment is working the way it should be working, and then you're like, okay, that's the guy I want to end up with. Why, oh why, would a guy like that want to end up with you? What do you have that's going to reel this guy in? Let me give you a clue. It falls between not much and almost nothing. I mean, you ladies love to say that you're going to offer him your experience, or you have your own business, or you're very mature, or you have your own house. All these things I just mentioned are awesome for you, not awesome for him. Now, I do admit that men your age would have a little bit more interest in this because they're not looking to be a retirement plan. I got that. But notice the key word. Little. They'd rather be with a woman younger than you that doesn't have this attitude that you have. I'm sorry, but that attitude you just came up with was about as sweet as a lemon dipped in salt. Don't take my word for it. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of men in their 60s and 70s that'll look at you and say, not my roast beef.
Fatality.
Flawless victory.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.